that does make a lot of sense. Like,
bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
All right, good morning to the Stay Motivated crew out there. Hope that you're finding yourself staying motivated, whatever your endeavors are. This is sort of our midweek check-in. We had alluded to in a past video about Ben pulling his hamstring.
I decided to run a fast mile just to see what I could run a mile in. I was pacing myself, afraid to push too hard, but then really pushed it on the last lap. I ran on a quarter-mile track, and I ended up running a 7:05. But honestly, I feel like I could have done a little better. So it was a success, but I also want to try it again next week just to see if I can beat it. So I had mentioned in one of our videos that I had done a 7:05 for my fast mile, but I felt like I had more in the tank and I wanted to try it again. Well, the following Monday, I did indeed try it again. A good friend of mine named Jesse, he runs a lot faster than I do. And so he said that he could pace me to do right under 7 minutes, so I could break that 7-minute mark. And so we started out, all I had to do was keep up with him. I started out and was staying right with him, felt good. 3 laps in, still felt good. 4th lap, a little gas, but coming into the final straight stretch, I was like, you know what, I got more in the tank. I'm going to sprint to the finish line just to really make sure I come in under that mark. And I took about 2 steps and heard a pop, and it was like a joint pop, but it was like right on the back of my leg, and it felt weird, sounded weird. I knew something was wrong, so I immediately stopped and didn't finish the run. So I still have a 7:05 I need to break once I get healed up, but it felt like an instant Charlie horse. And so I was walking around on it. My friend who's an RN told me to watch for like discoloration and stuff to see if it was a tear, because usually that popping sound signifies that I tore something. And so next day, there was no tear. It hurt, it ached, it was uncomfortable, but I massaged it, foam rolled it, kept moving on it, and it was getting better, and then fast forward to now, over a week later, and all of a sudden, my whole back of my leg, there was no discoloration prior to this, and all of a sudden now, the whole back of my leg is black and blue.
In the meantime, we're just going to pause the Stay Motivated competition until Ben can heal up. Absolutely not. We're going to pause it. Injuries happen. Sometimes you're going to have a bad day. You're going to have a bad week. You're going to have to slow down. The competition continues, and you have to find a way to stay motivated, even in the middle of an injury sometimes. And so, wanted to kind of get from Ben, like, what are some tips?
Number 1, I am making sure that I get plenty of advice. I have several friends that are in the medical field and asking physical fitness people and looking up stuff online on people that have dealt with this type of thing before, knowing just exactly how to deal with it. And then also in number 2, take caution. You don't want to do too much on it. You don't want to damage it more. You don't want to injure it further. But at the same time, number 3 is you want to stay active. Like example, I was running 3 miles 3 times a week, and so obviously I'm not running 3 miles right now, but I did go walking. And so I'm trying to keep blood going to it and walking on it and stuff that's not causing pain, but just kind of encouraging it to heal. You also, another thing is kind of zoom in on the other aspects of getting fit, such as diet, or like the weightlifting I can do, like any upper body stuff. I'm focusing on making sure I still am getting my lifts in as much as I can without damaging anything in my leg. So,
You know, anytime that you push yourself and you push yourself to discomfort, you're going to push yourself to a place of growth. And I think that applies mentally, physically, spiritually. If you're not uncomfortable where you're at, you're probably not pushing yourself to a place where you're going to be growing. So maybe your challenge right now is mental. And find a way to adapt to that. Spiritually speaking, if you're trying to pursue God,
push yourself.
And I think that you'll see growth there. And sometimes physically speaking, if you're not pushing yourself to where you're uncomfortable, you're not going to get stronger, and you're not going to get more fit, and you're surely not going to stay motivated.